So everything I'm going to cover today is going to be related to understanding taxes. Quote up there that comes from chapter 2 says, the hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax. That was written by Albert Einstein. Some people say he's a pretty smart guy, so that definitely is a strong quote there. One of the question that's listed in chapter 2 is basically reads, do you know if you are taking advantage of every tax deduction and every tax credit that's available to you? If you don't know the difference between a tax deduction and a tax credit, you probably are not taking advantage of every single tax deduction and credit available to you. So that's part of what I'm also going to cover here today as well. So in each chapter of the book, basically what we go into at the end of each of those chapters is what we call tax smart strategies. So tax smart strategies will provide you with a game plan to minimize your taxes and apply them throughout the entire financial planning process, which will definitely help you guys accelerate your wealth accumulation and dramatically increase your chances of reaching financial independence. So I have a question for each of you. Throughout your life as a dentist, as well as running a dental practice, or even just in your career, what do you believe the number one expense is? Mortgage? Okay. Anyone else have any other good guesses? Education, good guess. I'm sorry? Traveling? Okay. All right. All good guesses. Someone did say the right answer, which is very rare. That's why I didn't pick on that person. But by far, the number one expense you'll have in running a dental practice or even as an individual is without a doubt going to be taxes. And the bottom line is people don't really tend to think about it because they feel they have no control. But by far, the number one expense you will ever have throughout your lifetime is going to be paying taxes. And if you could come up with ways to reduce life's biggest expense, there's no easier way to put yourself on track to reaching financial independence. So, what type of taxes are you responsible for paying for? So, the personal income taxes, highest federal tax rate right now in the United States is 37%. That isn't even that high compared to historically what rates have been. But still, basically, if you're in the highest income tax bracket, 37 cents on every additional dollar you make goes to the federal government in one form of taxes or another. State income tax. Anyone here live in New York? All right. So New York State personal income tax is 9%. If you have the privilege of living within the 5 boroughs of New York City, you get to pay New York an extra 4%. So that combined puts you at 13% state and city tax, 37% federal tax. Easily 50% of your income, if you're in the highest income tax bracket, is going to the government in one form of taxes or another. That doesn't count payroll taxes. When you get your paycheck, if you're a W-2 employee, what comes out automatically there? Social Security tax, which is 6.2%. Medicare tax, which is another 1.45%. If you're the employer, you pay that twice. So you pay basically 15.3% in payroll taxes on every dollar you make. If you have employees, you're paying half of that, so 7.65% you're paying to the government for any wages you pay your staff. Anyone go out to dinner last night for Thanksgiving? And happy Thanksgiving to everyone, by the way. Anyone go out to dinner last night? Yep. Did you leave the waiter a nice tip at the end of the day? Good. So if you did a great job, I'm sure you left him 20%, 22%. If you did not so good a job, you probably left him 18%. Probably didn't realize this, but you also gave New York City a tip because they charge 9% sales tax for going out to dinner. So that's yet another added tax that you're paying. If anyone owns their own home, you're paying real estate taxes. You pay off your mortgage after working hard your whole life. Never stop paying real estate taxes to the government. Tariffs, which is a very hot topic of taxes as well nowadays. And then by far my favorite one is the estate and gift tax. Clearly, every single tax I just outlined here, the government literally taxes you throughout your entire lifetime. They literally tax you to death. And then guess what happens when you die? The government taxes you again for the act of dying. So highest federal estate tax rate is 40%. So you follow every single rule outlined within this book. 30, 40, 50 years from now, you die, an extremely successful, wealthy dentist. 40% above a threshold, 40% of what you are worth will be going to the federal government. If you live in New York, they also collect an estate tax. So when all is said and done, the government taxes you throughout your whole lifetime, and then on top of that, they'll tax you again just for dying. So to drive this point home a little further, does anyone here work for the government? No? Nobody? Well, I got bad news for all of you. You do all work for the government. The average American works all day Monday and all day Tuesday for the government. If you're in one of the highest income tax brackets, which a lot of dentists are, you're probably working half the day Wednesday as well. Usually around lunchtime Wednesday, that's when you start working for yourself and you start to bring home a paycheck for yourself, and you're not paying half of that to the government.